Welcome to Music Ranking. In today's video we're going to be talking about J. Cole's discography. First project of his, Cole World. Now this album, I'm going to be completely honest, I wasn't particularly a big fan of it. I did give it a fair listen, but by the 8th track I honestly felt like the album had nothing interesting to give to me as an audience member, and sadly I was right. Even the Jay-Z collab wasn't anything special. It's an album I gave it a chance and sadly it didn't capture it. It let it slip, but I will say the instrumentals on this album are very impressive, especially from the beginning. So ranking wise, I give it to number 6. My favourite songs on this album are Rise and Shine, Cole World and Never Told. Next is Born Sinner, which I did feel like was a massive improvement from his previous album, but it had the similar issues. It had 3 songs talking about the same subject matter in a row, which got quite infuriating. For those reasons alone, I rank it at number 5. Favourite songs off this album are Villuminati, Let Nas Down and She Knows. Next is 2014 Forest Hills Drive, which is where J. Cole turned it around and delivered a great album and gives us more insight into his personal life and great lyrical prowess. Ranking wise, it's at number 3 for me. Favourites on this album are Wet Dreams, A Tale of Two Cities and No Role Models. Next is Cole's album For Your Eyes Only, which was a short but great album telling a story throughout about a street corner kid who, after finding love and has a kid, he wants to get out of this drug dealing but knows that death is the only option. This album was a great story, and the last song is J. Cole's best storytelling song of all time in my personal opinion. Ranking wise, it's at number 1. Favourites on this album are Neighbours, Film Mentality and For Your Eyes Only. Next is K.O.D, which is a good album, but to me, not as good as his previous album, For Your Eyes Only. Some songs on this album felt like they were more hook than verse, and though this is something Cole does a lot through his previous albums, it never felt as much as it did on this project. For those reasons alone, I'd rank it at number 4. My favourite tracks on this album are K.O.D, Brackets and Window Pane. Next is the Off Season, and it really was a great album, but I still have my issues with it. This album has songs with short verses but longer hooks, such as Let Go My Hand and Hunger on Hillside, which, not to say they are bad songs, they are great songs, but it feels like they could have had more put into the song itself. Regardless, it's still a great album, and ranking wise is at number 2. Favourites on this album are 95 South, Let Go My Hand and The Climb Back. Okay, that's J. Cole's discography. Next artist, Kendrick Lamar.